let's get the power. He count on me, he count on me anyhow. Hear the news, kill the view, the tell you one time. Government issues, democracy, now we not the answer. The human them, God begin, let's get the power. He call on me, count on me anyhow. Speak free and fearless, inclusive journalism. Speak free and fearless, inclusive journalism.
A nation forged in resilience from the ashes of the 11 years brutal civil war through the shadows of Ebola, COVID-19 and the mudslide. Sierra Leone rises, but the journey is far from over. Governance strain. Youth demand more. Women demand more. 60% in poverty. But what if the solutions lie not in silence, but in dialogue? This is not another talk show. This is State of the Nation, where every voice feels change. From Freetown to Kono, we are turning debates into action. No script, no spin, just Sierra Leoneans rewriting their future together. So we bring you a movement not just to speak, but to be heard. Speak out. Hold power to account. This is your nation. This is your voice. This is State of the Nation. Only on Liberty TV on Facebook, YouTube, and on www.libertytvonline.com. Every month, the last Sunday, 7 to 9 p.m. Tune in. The nation is watching.
All right, welcome back from the Power Court. We've been just getting in the studio as this morning we did talk about the implications them we go there if Karpowership stop for supply light, especially in a Freetown where they don't give light. We still get Melvin Tijan Mansari in the studio as we continue the discussion. Melvin, before we get the interruption from the electricity suppliers them, let we talk about this situation of the blackouts. We begin to talk about the implications them where this go gets. Currently, let we just look at businesses them where some people they do where have up to this lights. From the perspective of a social commentator, if at this time, although we dey in the rains, we don't know what's in the infrastructures them where governments go work on for ensure say if the Karpowership stop for operate, blackouts not pass mark, how this go affect the citizens that will rely on electricity for getting daily living?
It will first impact households. It will disrupt people and livelihoods and their life. Because imagine if you don't cook, you eat, you put it in a fridge, and light not there, it go spoil. So that's now one immediate effect. But no, not forget, that's a case of picking dying one of the big hospital. Say one footballer get for go buy a generator for make sure that hospital they get electricity. So some of them machine they will need current in the hospital. Unfortunately, with the pre not make anybody will sick. We need some of them machine and if lights not there, like I don't go so. And from the messages that I see, I stand for be corrected. Yeah, if you get lights, just make long know if you get lights. The rest of know if it's in a propaganda. Because for lights don't go. And no say other side and say if light don't go. So it go mean say if you get some emergency in the hospital, if you're afraid, if light not there, na free tongue. And financially business, if you want to sell cold water, cold drink, you they run bar, you they run restaurants, you they run office, you get for depend on generator. We are here with the Mammy of Freetown, Madam Yvonne, talk about what it will cost for run that big building there without. They say it costs 41 plus million on fuel. So Khadija, for we self now a real time example now, to operate this generator that is running now, you are the owners. You know what it costs. So in terms of real-time effects, it has the tendency economically for cut down on the GDP growth. It also get a tendency for affect jobs, because if you go to office lights not day, which you go do day. So employment, and that employer now will pay you because of you need to go work. So it gets far reaching, but security also. This is not in season. We also place the cold tendency for almost a mind body sleep fine 1 year enjoy yourself great. But also if lights not day, we also get night carpenters. Then people and they then go use us as an avenue for thief. So family like when the light don't go so. You able to get Kaba Tiger, you able to get Chinese lamp, or I don't know if we go forget in this area Bio Tiger again, don't know, but not go one Tiger again. Maybe we'll call them Bio Lion. You know, say Pio them be say they call that lion, who say chief minister, but they don't call Bio Lion.
You think they don't treat this issue of energy with seriousness we deserve, or people busy politicize them?
They've been politicizing it, but I think the politics is just a charade. The real issue is corruption. If you look within APC invest per energy and within SLPP don't can invest in energy, I mean, they need for do a performance audit on that sector. Okay, there is a performance audit report on that sector also we need for watched maybe in some future time. But the fact remains there. The fact remains there is if the government is really serious about energy sector, there are several questions as to where it wants to go. Of course, we know say the government want to go solar. We then say renewable energy. That's what the world is saying. We go cut down on the cost of fuel. Apparently, from what the government they do with engagements with independent power producers, we're not bad. It make government forget, but in your own business, we get for do with EDSA capacity. We get for do with Bumuna capacity. And if government will focus on your own, it is say they depend on what are called third parties who can provide energy. These third parties, they exist to make profits, and as ordinary salon people them. So for me, I think all waiting government don't spend, there should be an independent audit on the energy sector. Yeah, they've done a performance audit, which we know it contains a lot, but when it comes to value for money, nobody knows what we say waiting government don't spend. They talk about $300 million. If you equivalent that in leons, that is billions. Billions of leons, but yet still we are grappling with. So I think the contract negotiation, Khadija, I the problem be. Because they're going to negotiate the contract, nobody don't know. I don't try for search and research for get access to that contract because another one can sit down talk here. The contract.
So you think so the negotiator then get them wrong? Because we already done the area again allegations of kickbacks and all of this issue we get to do with Karpowership and the government of Sierra Leone.
Like APC, like SLPP, they got it wrong because they never disclosed to the public the terms of reference of this contract.
But even earlier you make mention say the issue of electricity not a thing way we for politicize. Even within the SLPP administration, it's clear say there is a division when it comes to the energy sector. And they see how the pattern they go between those when they allege say wants the Karpowership for continue. The energy sector lead they say no, the Karpowership not so is permanent solution. Then get for let and go. We don't hear allegation now the chief minister go to Turkey, he go negotiate instead of he negotiated the fee candle, he add and hope the issue of kickback within the whole car power structure and corruption. Now one way just alarming.
Absolutely, and that's why it should be audited and investigated. Khadija, these are allegations, and we know the APC, the SLPP like APC, they are coming to their election for, so everybody they spin things and we cannot fall for them easily. But the fact that governments, APC go negotiate this deal, we don't know too much. Now only way the deal, even when SLPP can and go renegotiate, now Karpowership can make we know say that they provide fuel. Now Karpowership can make we know say then they do service in fee. We don't know. So if you don't know what it entail in the contract, you can just talk in the vacuum. And that the government then gets it wrong. Maybe if the problem don't come, and I'm sure Dr. Yim can ask me a very salient question. Should we continue with this kind of agreement or not? And Khadija, just to lend credence to what you're saying. If people feel say Karpowership na a long-term solution and the energy lady say not, so you ask why are these people feeling that? It's because of money. The money we pay to Karpowership, if we lock we eye, if all salon men we can pray and fast, we say, okay, 3 months we didn't blackout, so go put that money in the Bumbuna. Where Bumbuna they can't on, it will be more sustainable and viable. Because it's about the viability. Of course, if current day, infrastructure day, but these IPPs, I will give credit to this very fine and Teflon journalist, Chinoba. He's been writing about this issue, but we seem not to be taken serious. At the heart of this issue of blackouts and corruption, waiting APC, waiting SLPP, they don't put per energy sector and the different projects them. Can you imagine? It's so baffling. I see the president the other day, they say after 40 years, that 40 years to you, he repeats 210. Every time the president go put lights on 210 and Moyamba, but yet still we don't go put other lights on. So he clearly should say there are so many incompleted projects. There are so many what I would call white elephant projects. All of those projects should be audited and investigated because Boku couple don't go there, and some of them alone. Now the sad thing. Some of them also we catch all the peso, we like all the omonga so. Some of them alone when we picking them after we get for go pay. So you ask yourself, and the worst side of it, the $480 million will be they expect. America for them can beg they can add more salt per insult. They can give you visa restriction. Because by rights alone be not eligible for that 400. If we don't help we greatly. Because that 480 million for we don't improve on distribution and the infrastructure. Although when I watched the debates in parliament, people even in SLPP thought that it was not right because the 480 million was just targeting infrastructure and transmission. What about generation? Salon we blackout problem at generator now not day. Be it a solar generator now or any now generator not day. So how can we of course we not so fault because we not get. So go say America give me 400 we winner. America for them can tell we say hey we go because the president will get a supremacist and racist. They not can tell we they can add more. Although we don't get scheme. So the absence of the 480 million, you just can't add upon the blackout threats. But above all, Khadija, the bottom line question, what will be the pay for them credits and for?
Melvin, for discontinue the Bumbuna Phase 2 project, na be a right decision?
I don't think so. And most of the arguments with governments can be advanced like, hey, costly, the time is long. But if you check, the money we don't spend so far, if we be spent upon Bumbuna Phase 2, we've almost done now. I can understand the Creole parable say they say the guy dog sweets for it. But you go the eat say the dog the guy. But follow the pan can cut out here. For let people and they play with national sovereignty like this. For let foreign company, a corporate body, the old we capital and nation to ransom. This is not only gonna affect Freetown. Because some lights will be for saying maybe the other side now. If government not let Freetown and government, like I say, government get the avenues. I don't call the avenues the way they get to them. Say they don't do work pa. For let Freetown not in blackout. So if government first allow Freetown for go blackout, a part of Bumuna, it shows that government itself has not been trustworthy with us because they don't tell you about several projects there. For several projects then collapse or then they sink like how the ship they sink. So we should not be in blackout. Let not fall for that government's rhetoric day. That's Freetown because of Karpower. There are other avenues, I don't mention them. We're not so only Karpower. What are they doing? Bumuna again, season on. Okay, even if Bumuna girls say if government not gonna make say you're not priority, this seems to be government sabotaging itself, honestly. Because if you have other avenues and now it doesn't like for say Karpower are the god of energy now na salon. It's unfortunate.
But are these avenues working? So
Dr. Yunkela and the government spokesperson, they should come and tell us. 3 months ago, I interviewed Dr. Yunkela. And some of these things, he said, he conveyed an impression as if they are up and there. I will not disclose the personal, although my inquiry was for public consumption, but his response was in private. And I have restrictions, so I know he's a diplomat. But the fact remains, let me tell you, they repair generator in Kintom. We forget 10 megawatts. So, assuming that Karpower not giving nothing, said not giving no 6 power, we still should have lights.
Melvin, whether it's a threat or not, this are the right time for let government really terminate contracts with Karpower.
It's not government terminating the contract. Now the contract gone.
Is it timely at this stage?
Maybe.
If they say they don't want to renew this contract, let we work on waiting salon gates.
Maybe the question you're asking is very correct. Should the contract be extended or not? You know, Salomon, almost you don't call the figure that they spend per annum. We may say they spend something like $5 million per month. Is it worthy? So the fact there remains, the negotiation as we already established, whether it's timely, that the contract not done. Government officials not even tell you because that's not for me and you. Cost versus benefits. If government is spending 300, you give me the figures.
Yeah, then say $300 million 2018 to now.
If you don't spend $300 million, you ask almost
and outstanding debt of 2 years.
But Kappa are going to negotiate. They're not even negotiate for the and they for so. If you look at the statement, they say they're not be even considered outstanding debt and just the payments plan. So the money where they don't spend on Power, let me ask yourself, the engineers and the energy experts, if they put up on Mumuna phase 2, waiting for the Giwi, what is the cost of Mumuna phase 2? You know, these politicians, they are talking in rhetoric. I have great respect for Honorable Imkela and people in some people in this government, but we need to be realistic. All right. We need to be realistic. Asking the question of whether should it be extended, for me, as ordinary person, almost we don't spend. Now the benefits we get, then we can answer the question whether Kappa should be extended.
We'll come back to you, Melvin. We can look at then cost analysis. Then if really the country they get value for money, let's just join Abdul Fatoma. We're still there with Winner the virtual link. Mr. Fatoma, I'm pretty sure you don't follow the conversation and you don't listen to what you co-panelists don't they make through in submission them. First, in belief say for discontinue the Bumbuna phase 2 project now be a wrong decision. And the government officials, then we don't they talk to the citizen them. They not don't they tell the citizen and the right thing, because if they don't they repair machine them na Black Hole Road, machine them na King Tom, nobody know for Engat if Karpowership say then they discontinue. What did you take on that?
With fundamental problem na lack of transparency in public affairs. I mean, when they talk about them contracts, they are not to private conversation, not to arms and ammunition deal, or not to national security deal. These are things we come to social utilities, I mean social services, you know, for utilities, services that we the citizens and go benefit from. And we are part of statutory responsibility for the government. So, I mean, nobody is doing us favor. This is an obligation by law that say social amenities for be available for the citizens. So we don't know what's in the inside the deal. The deal be worth around $800 million, and that was what they told us as a people. Say the contract worth that amount, and then can terminate that contract. And now they don't into another contract, and they wish for discontinue with another contract. And the thing is that we not get a strong temporal alternative as to how we they go. Now the same CO system way, even though we will be they use the other temporal alternative, then say we transfer stations them very archaic. We network line very low, because even we will generate more power, but we cannot transmit the power because the line then go overload and it will cause explosion, and then they make some substations and they blow off. So and then they lost a lot of money, or people then they thief their transformer. We get a lot of stories. We set up institutions in this country where for be transparent and be independent to the public, and then we actually know they get that services, and that comes again another value for money. The sad thing where many people think that only the one that will work for months, now then not the taxpayer them. But every citizens they pay tax. We get direct and indirect tax. The direct one maybe then go say now you pay tax. But like the indirect tax, they pay more tax than even maybe somebody will get job. Because if you they do business, you buy any goods, you get for pay GST. And GST is a tax, not tax. So that money they will government they collect, and then they go into public expenditures. And together with the loan and grants that we will get from the external sources that we can give it. And the reason why make we continue to get a very bad economy, because we lending power is very, very low. We in a triple C, meaning we are a very bad lender. We not agree for pay until they take we to court or they take actions against we or then sanction we. So then IMF they always look at the interest of the one the way they trust we, how will they pay them. Then you look at the percentage. Now we dey 40%. If government of Sierra Leone loan money from anybody, for example, UAC don another station Khadija, if you loan the government of Sierra Leone $1 million, the government of Sierra Leone for pay you back in 400,000. So the time when the government of Sierra Leone agree for pay you that money, in total they get for pay you 1,400,000. And before IMF they expand any credit facility again for let them give you more money, then therefore make sure say we don't reduce, we loan them where we don't take from people there, we don't pay them debts and interest. And this they also add poverty because they cannot add more money on salary for teachers then, sojama and police the way they work. So then you look at back the bank, the private sector. You look at it say when you go to a bank, every commercial bank get their own interest, where then they add as well. So if you now want to go into energy supply, for supply your community, then they buy from you or a district where you want for supply, you want to go take loan at bank. The loan at the bank is very high. Some bank then they that 23%, 35, I mean 25%. All of this they cause more hardship in the country. You get this institution where the government of a BO-led administration be set, where the monitoring and evaluation. That body they for not able for tell we a lot of tangible things as to where we are on all of government projects them. And any government project apart from defense, Ministry of Defense or national security, or other one then, they are made public. We were able to get access to them report then on the educational sector. Are they making this report available if you even go to their site? So we really then are in the dark there. We get members of parliament the way go tell you say now we be pass that deal, we not be think say it be good for this country, but we be just pass a normal. But they never go back to their constituents and tell and say there is a very bad deal where they come where we not think say favor. I want for abstain. Waiting will not think. Let it go back to the well and say I get the blessing of my people. Then I don't explain to them the nature of this project, but then still give me the opportunity for go ahead. So on that basis, since that they represent, I go ahead. But I don't talk to so many MPs on deals the way I clearly know that they are not set on the document, but listen the debate, I able for clearly know frustration among them and asking them both opposition and ruling party and even paramount chiefs them where they represent and district them. Then they say, oh, Fatoma, we just passed this thing, but this country now. So I said, but why you not inform the people, let them give you blessing? They said the people they not go one for you read that. But then if they rule people in speculation, that's the problem. So we as a country, like I've been talk one of them days there in a one press conference, we don't adopt a politics of self-benefit. And we believe saying that we party them, we believe saying that we schoolmate them, we believe saying that we alumni them, we believe saying that we, tribe people them. So either from the civil society, from the media, from the common man where they sell, majority of the people then take a stand. I cannot say all Sierra Leonean. Because like even Andrew Kali, he make a very, unfortunate statement say, everybody in this country they thief light, including the clergymen, including so you cannot distinguish. So even in when they talk to the media, it confirmed to we say the thief light. And me, no the thief light. So, but if it come, they talk say everybody in this country will all get the problem. We therefore stop some kind of reckless generalization on certain national issue.
Calling for transparency on agreements and we suppose for the public. Let we look at the one then where the public right now. This Karpowership, so many people on the ask say, we don't know exactly what's in the government of Sierra Leone, the exact agreement where they get with Karpowership. But based on what's in the public, in terms of the areas where they owe the ship and the money where they don't spend so far, if you not been part of the one the way they negotiate, now this Karpowership in this June then contracts for done. You think the government of Sierra Leone for continue with this contract with Karpowership, taking into consideration the areas where they owe right now and waiting don't go into the ship so far?
As a trained negotiator, and I will definitely look at the benefit of both parties and how Sierra Leone will benefit and how Car Power will be benefit. You know, um, but looking at things, if we dey pay money, then we not get a result. Always then say then they run at loss, but they know they transparent with we how much then they collect for a day. If then generate power, the entire city get light. The business center of the city get light. How many income then they generate for day? They cannot tell us that. And then if I didn't negotiate, these are some of the things. If Car Power get the capacity for actually help we for collect, even though we go collect, but if they get the skills, because then they operate a different country inside Africa and East Europe, so they might not get a lot of experience, and you get a lot of East European farms, and we get a platform they have for collect revenue. So one is about our revenue collection. We go still collect as a country, but how do we go about to get a very robust and disciplined revenue collection from the energy they sell out to the people? And two, we look at the cost benefits where they come up from the generation of the revenue and how we go pay Car Power without we as a country we not go at loss, and how Car Power go stay in the country and also benefit, from the business way then they do. So I not go just come blanketly can tell you say yes I go continue, yet no I go discontinue. So I go look at the nitty gritties in business factor as a trained negotiator.
Allegations and we don't come out of kickbacks na the Karpowership agreements and the energy sector in general. You go agree say corruption are one reason we make up till now the energy sector not able to give people the lights where they pay for?
Every multinational business largely is surrounded with a whole lot of suspicion of corruption. And any multinational business where they survive na third world countries, it largely operates by political will. And what do we mean by that? The top men then inside governance, the most influential men, and then they push them contracts on it. And studies don't tell we say that Transparency International in the private sector corruption. India are one of the leading countries in terms of infrastructure and also industrialization. Asia and around the world. So we find out that corruption very large around them thing and they. So you get percentages and always we the government officials or the interlocutors then can go in for that. The middleman can go in for say the power will get or the authority will get 5% or 10%. Then they will not the middleman and then will get in 1% like anything with the come. So most multinational contracts, them where they come in a third world country, largely suspicions there around corruption. But then the mismanagement and misappropriations of public funds, as well fall under the description of corruption. So largely we will say there's a possible corruption within, the operation in the energy sector. And this make you they see a lot of power fight as who is in charge and who to be in control. Because when you're in charge and when you're in control, it's so much. When we've been to talk to some people then then they tell we say some of the people that were there at the ETSA and at the high power, Majority of them get a private consulting firm, then either a government civil servant or government public official. So when the contract come, instead of them make a private sector, if you get interest in providing public service for energy providers, either you do survey, you do a study, or you provide materials, then go make sure that say you as a private person, we're not in government, you not go able to get access to that. And then when they within the money they circulate within them. And so basically that all a form of corruption. So all of them things then they hang around, with energy sector in this country. And these are some of the key things that we will need to work around if we want a sustainable, steady, and a clean energy. But for now, I think we largely surround ourselves in a country where the politicians and then supporters and feel say the country na market ground. So everybody they come for sell and make profit and go away within profit.
Continue for day with we, Mr. Fatoma. We'll go join you shortly. That's Abdul Fatoma, when the chief executive. We go come back to you shortly. We go join you shortly, Mr. Fatoma. Just a minute. All right, that's Abdul Fatoma. Quickly, before we come back to Ram, let we just listen to waiting the ordinary citizen them being make up of the notice we come out from the Karpowership say yesterday when June 12 o'clock midnight then go shut down. Al Hassan Koroma been talked to ordinary citizen them. Let we watch what the citizen they make up of this.
Powership been signed a new contract with the SLPP government inside 2018 as plenty challenge be done day na the city forget light. For Tuesday, June 10 this year, the Karpowership been pull a press release we say inside January 2025 then be hold a meeting with the government of Salone na Turkey. Outside then agree say then go pay the debt we then owe to the Karpowership. But according to the management of the Karpowership, they say till now government not pay. We make Thursday, June 12, 2025, then go stop for give light na Freetown. But before this release been come out from Karpowership, the Ministry of Energy, they don't say the Karpowership will shut down the operation 12 o'clock midnight, June 12 this year. Because Freetown been don't depend on Karpowership for light, and no say the ship will stop for work. Waiting people na Freetown think about this. From them concerns here we come out from the public don't show say plenty people they survive pan lights na Freetown. And then people I don't call on the government for ensure say then solve the issue where they between them and the Karpowership for make the city not deep and total darkness. Liberty Online TV, Al Hassan Koroma the report.
Welcome back. You still watch the breakfast show na Liberty Online TV. That's Nabi Alhassan Kuruma. We been talk to citizens them regarding the cutoff of power where Karpowership been said they do yesterday. Well, let we look at messages and get more views of citizens them regarding this issue of power supply to Freetown and the Karpowership agreement we then get with government. The first message we are going to look at from the Facebook page. Ben Kwame, they say, I think it's time for make we allow private companies for come invest and light business and compete with EDSA.
This one, they say the energy crisis we are perplexed with as a nation cannot be resolved until and unless we have a major energy-driven investment such as the rail network or big manufacturing companies that will use bulk energy. Thereby, the EDSA can sell and be able to make a break even. As it is now, the energy is only for local consumption, and to meet up the cost, the government has to subsidize. With the current state of our economy and per capita income, this is a burden to both the government and consumer. Let's create the enabling investment environment to attract FDI that can use energy, and the leftover, it can be used for domestic consumption.
Other message says citizens need for stand up for service delivery issues and demand better from these institutions because it's unlike say we are being taken for granted. Anyone within Giwi we accept. Very content people in this country indeed.
Brahma Tarawali, they say, good morning, Liberty TV. Our government in and out need to take us a bit more seriously when it comes to service delivery. We should not be struggling at this point with basic amenities like electricity, water supply, and good roads. May God help us.
This one from Ibrahim Momo, it said, trust me, Melvin, with $300 million, Sierra Leone would have bought 3 Karpowerships if they use the money the wise way. Again, the government wants to tell us that this can be huge money, will not finish the hydro.
Thomas Rogers, they say, I think the problem of electricity in Sierra Leone is caused by 3 main issues. Not enough power is being produced, the infrastructure is old and unreliable, and the sector is poorly managed. To solve this, the government needs to take strong action, invest more in renewable energy like solar power, and ensure the system is managed honestly and efficiently. Until these changes are made, many people will continue to face blackouts or rely on costly options like the Karpowership.
For the Mustafa Touré say they are using the EDSA money deposited in the consolidated fund to finance the wage bill, and that's the reason why they can't tell us how much money EDSA is depositing, but are telling us that EDSA is running at a loss. Who will believe this?
All right, the last one we may go take for now and come back to guest them. Isakabo, they say the country uses prepaid electricity system. So is this a case of EDSA failing to honor its obligations, or is it something worse, a blatant mismanagement of public funds? If this does not show just how irrelevant, bankrupt, and incompetent, all right.
We go look at, because of time, we get Ali Fofana. We say the whole thing about the light issue is incompetence from all sectors bearing responsibility to provide sustainable light.
All right, from the messages and there, we they come to we studio guest them quickly. We they come to you, Mr. Fatoma, as you want for left we now. You don't listen to the ordinary people and voice them all play through the vox pop and save the messages. A clear say the citizen and the demand for better service delivery. As it is now, waiting government for do for address the citizen then demands, Mr. Fatoma.
Well, listening to the messages and also to the Voxport, it showed clearly in my introduction when I be say we life depend on electricity and everything we would do, and some people they in a low income suffer to gain family background. Then largely depend on the availability of light for let them get their livelihood for a day or even complement the one they were on a very low salary. Government in responsibility now for ensure that say, the people then live a decent life. Now every country where they defend themselves. And we not think we need for babysit or ask government and beg them say let them give it light. I mean, we are not getting it for free, we pay for it. So, waiting them for do the availability unless they remove the political personal interest and the market interest out of this and look at and say a service and a fundamental right way every citizens need for enjoy. Even their own supporters them, then they suffer from this. So it can be sad for read on social media where they see the same sallow man or woman where they suffer from the same blackout will come out and harass people the way they call the government for live up to the statutory obligation. So we the urge government from we own side as an organization for ensure that they live by the statutory responsibility we then get for ensure that say them provide light. I agree with the other and Texas we put say based on we consumption level because our domestic use more we get lesser business use for electricity and they know they consume that much apart from the hotel and fuel. I doubt if it's some factories that even rely on because during your production then you can get the middle lights go then over how many worth of millions or thousands of dollars a property that we put there automatically then spoil because blackout can in between because we don't get a reliable electricity. But first we need to get the infrastructure. If we not get the infrastructure, we cannot attract any company. Then countries that we can develop today get factories and waiting first they work on. Now the energy production and the road infrastructure that alone they make. I mean, 2011 we see Nigeria economy boost for that reason no more. So if Salon we say we actually serious one for grow we economy, we therefore pay serious attention to we energy infrastructure and we road infrastructure. So with that, I think we will able for attract investors there. But apart from that, na portfolio investors that they get where they can. In fact, and then they offer you how much you now want or on your percentage that we do this. So thank you so much, Liberty, for hosting me this morning again.
So many thanks for you joined with this morning. That's now being Abdul Fatoma, the Chief Executive for Chadi. As even though the virtual link, they discuss the implications, and especially from a human rights perspective, waiting it would sound like if the Karpowership stop for the light right now na Freetown. Well, we'll come over to Melvin Tijan Mansare as we wrap up this edition of the program based on the messages and we come in and serve the vox where we've been get with people na different parts of Freetown. Waiting you go left as an advice to the one them way, especially the negotiate this whole thing we get for do with the Karpowership.
Let them follow the process. One thing I come for realize now that this Karpower agreement from APC to now has not gone through Parliament. It's unfortunate. Khadija, you remember where they cover Parliament, there are lots of agreements, energy agreements and blah, blah, blah. Khadija, if you look at the Library of Parliament, there's nothing like that. So if a ministry, an EDSA, entered into an agreement without the approval of the people's representative, no wonder we see that kind of situation here. That is not a bargain to say Parliament, if it be the day before them, might have oversight. But in this case, there is no record that it was before Parliament. And that in itself was an infringement. You know, somebody will say, well, should it be obligatory? Based on precedents on several other energy agreements for Waterloo and other places from 2024 backwards, you know that this agreement in problem begin from when I go to Parliament. And now we know the secrecy nature about it. This is about bad governance. Unfortunately, this government tell about new direction and then continue with the old Kukujumoku direction in the case of this agreement. It's so unfortunate. Today, we don't know. And the big elephants in the room, should the contract be extended or not? They said, guy dog, it's sweet for charm. But when you go to eat, say the dog did guy. What can suffice amidst the blackouts? And we don't say we expect no blackouts because there are other avenues. And looking at the long-term solution, which is dealing with us rather than independent power producers, because we say we continue for deal with them, and then our profits that they make now with, and that money we will spend per name company, and I think after counting the costs, let's spend it on Bomuna, and we can say we forget a better energy situation of the country.
All right, many thanks, Melvin. Always a pleasure for tap on you apt analysis on issues that we get for do with the economy, governance, peace, security, all around that, Melvin.
It's a pleasure. As a journalist, I say if you sabi something about all thing, even if you don't sabi all thing, but you sabi small thing about something. So if you're a dedicated journalist, you should know something about everything.
Many thanks, Melvin. You joined me this morning. Well, now, so we end the breakfast show for today and for this week. Many thanks to all. We don't join we every morning through YouTube, through website, through Facebook page. One for say many thanks. We appreciate the support and the love so far. Liberty TV, we there so for bring Cantona on bias sides to all the stories and especially on trending issues where they happen at the country. Many thanks to our production team. We able engineer them, we technician them, Musa Saukoma, Samuel Thomas, Dennis Kamara, where every morning they give support to the production team for the breakfast show. Me too. Now, Mina Khadija Bangura, they say, get yourself a wonderful weekend.
And continue for watch Liberty Online TV. Remember, say we tell you say this coming Sunday, when at this weekend we go for premiere very new content where I believe say no one for miss out. So watch out for that particular show day when a fun and short with Hadri. It will come on 9 o'clock on Sunday night. So watch out, we get more content throughout the day. So continue for follow, like and share. Get a good weekend. Mabel Kabade say goodbye.
Develop city, then clean. All clean city, develop.
This is Yvonne Akisoya, Mayor of Freetown. And today, I want to talk to Freetonians about sanitation. We objective, transform Freetown, transforming lives. We not go able to achieve them if we all not join hands. Freetown City Council get role, but every Freetonian also get responsibility. Let we start first with the fact say FCC with the sweep 110 major streets every single morning from Monday to Saturday. But when we don't sweep the streets, if Freetonians then come and they continue for heap dot in the street, in order to make the place look fine. Now make we get them litter bins them. The yellow bins we wanna go see around. So in the waka, you drink from your water bottle, your water plastic, you eat your packets on tin. Not even a ground where you done. Make sure say you put on a one of them bins then they. That litter bin they. In order for you host dirty. You know mean say if you pack you host dirty, you can pin her next to the bins them. Not to the idea that. Not give you host dirty. To them one way the Allah say clean salon, clean salon. No say that dirty way they collect now you host. In order for Karango, now the one of the two official sites. In order Karango Kisi Bome, in order Karango King Tom Bome. It turns so it left on the ground. And now we council get a problem, but you self get a problem. Because now front somebody else in Domot, your own dirty don't end up. So wait you for do with you host dirty. We get the one then a council when we don't certify. Say then approved waste providers. Then they on tricycles, some of them they a vehicle. You will get host, you will get business, you in a hospital, institution, everybody for make sure say their waste collected by an approved FCC waste collector. We get the tricycle groups, we get the companies. So you go see them around. We engage with them on a regular basis. And wait till we go do now as we come into this new year. Now for make sure say FCC stand behind them for you for no side and day and for let themselves go to you so that we no go get a gap. When you heap dirty in a gutter, it end up na Lumley Beach, Toke Beach. All the tourism ambition where we get for the city, we lost that potential there. FCC, they spend boku money pan dirty business. The fuel, the labor, the vehicle maintenance, the spare parts, the night operations, the illegal dump site clearing where we get for the do every now and then. All that boku money. I'm not gonna say we're not gonna spend anything, but we're going to reduce some. If Freetonians then do the right thing. Because we're not gonna get for go clear illegal dump sites. We're not gonna get for sweep as many streets and spend as long. So if we reduce that money we spend now on dirty business, we go able put some on development. We all want for improving municipal schools. We want improving markets them. We want for let we see new developments at the city. That money where we use for dirty business. You and while we all make up we mind. Pay.
You are watching Liberty Breakfast Show on Liberty Online TV.